Greetings and salutations. This is Imperator Vespasian and his trusty sidekick, bringing you the second annual unboxing video of Orc Infantry. This is actually going to be a proper unboxing video because we did kind of go off on one on the last video we did.
Yep.
We'd do that. Anyway, these are the Orcs. If you want to, the bodies, just first 5 minutes of the previous video, go watch that. Weapon wise,
just don't get stuck in the rant.
Yeah. Right, so these are the bodies. We get some chainmail, segmented armor, chainmail, fish scale, and probably padded, I should guess. Decent armor for an orc. So we have a collection of bows, which are quite good because you have the guy firing the arrow. You very seldom get that.
You get that a lot in No,
you don't.
Right, yeah, you don't.
No, you don't.
No.
So arrow attached, great. What I usually do is cut little arrow bits off and then stick them on models. But now I don't have to because they're attached to these. They're great. And that holding the two arrows there is good. I will say as an aside that it's actually not accurate historically for orcs, actually in real life. I'm going to mention Lord of the Rings again. Right. I'm not seriously. I'm not doing it again. Right, have you noticed anything about LOTR? Do you know Aragorn when he's firing his bow?
Yeah.
He's carrying a short bow.
Yes.
Right, because he's a tracker.
But Gimli.
Don't get me started. Right, now he's carrying a short bow and he carries the arrows in the same hand as he's firing with. Right? So, which frees this hand up to fire, and then he takes the arrow out of his hand. So, and if you notice something, if you look at American Indians, who also use short bow, the same type of short bow, they do exactly the same. And if you look at the Mongolian steppe people who still practice with bow, they do the same. They hold arrows in their hand while they're holding the bow, and it's the same type of bow. It's a composite bow, not compound bow, and the other way around.
Yeah.
And so he's holding his hands in arrows in that hand. In reality, he should really have the arrows down the side of the bow as he's firing. Just throwing that out there. Anyway, no more discussion.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're there. The shields are quite good. They have little attachments, so you can put the shields on the hands quite easily. And then head-wise, we have quite a decent collection of heads. Everyone has a helmet. Everyone gets a helmet, or everyone can be bareheaded. So you can have your bowmen without helmets or whatever. Then we have the greatest weapon ever created by orcs is the mace. The mace with spikes in it. Why spike?
Gets on your shield, is it?
Yeah, so it's you can stick it in the shield
and
pull it down, or you can actually try and go through armour. If you notice, the top bit is a spearhead, and the sides are spiky, so you can pull it back out. So you can actually ram that into a shield and then pull the shield down, or you can use that side to hit someone with armour.
They should charge instant with that.
Yes, it's a multi-purpose mace. I know it's a fantasy thing, but it's actually a real device that existed. Scimitar, best weapon for orcs. Scimitar again. Why is scimitar good for orcs to carry? Orcs in LOTR carry scimitars. They actually mention these are orc scimitars. Why scimitars?
I know why.
Because if you try and hit an enemy sword or any weapon with a weaker blade, the blade will break. Orcs are using presumably pig iron.
Yep.
Therefore their weapons are not that good. So they don't want to impact an enemy with your straight blade. It will break. So scimitar allows you to slice, and therefore the damage goes down the blade, and it won't shatter your blade.
Yeah.
But that's I actually learned that from a video about Mongols, because the Mongols carried curved swords, scimitars.
So did the is that Conquest?
Yes, it's the same reason. It's a pour of steel. The steel isn't as good because they're mass produced, and especially if you're on horseback, a straight sword could have a nick in it, and it could catch on clothing or something, and then your sword will snap or your wrist will break.
You see, they had many more and we had many less because we only have the best of the best.
We made steel anyway, so yeah. And the Chinese again using steel, Mongols no steel, so using iron. So this, it will, if it does catch, it doesn't matter. It will just cut open. It will just cut it. It'll be fine. So the scimitar won't fall out of your hand if it catches, and you can slice, you can slash with it. Quite interesting. In the Sino-Japanese War, which was 1904, the Japanese fought the Russians. There was a cavalry engagement, and the Russian cavalry had straight cavalry swords, and the Japanese had curved. And the Japanese rode straight through the Russians, and the odd Russian managed to skewer a Japanese soldier, which is unfortunate. But most of the Japanese who got through the cavalry were fine, but all the Russian soldiers were wounded because the curved Japanese blades were designed to slash and cut.
There was an army, wasn't there, that specifically used a fight not to kill but to severely wound.
Yeah, the Kazur.
To make you surrender.
Yes. Yeah, it wasn't designed to and also the Aztecs.
They kept running into each other and they just keep getting a perfect slice in a severe area.
Yeah, the Aztecs too. The Flower Wars. I don't know why they were called the Flower Wars, but the wars in Mesoamerica, hardly anyone died in battle. Or if you got a cut, you're out.
Like gladiators.
Yeah. I don't know why they did that, because it seems silly, but that's how they did it, and that's what it was designed for. So scimitar, great idea for an orc. Oh, that's the orc captain, by the way. A horned helmet, completely not historically accurate, but cool.
Vikings had horned helmets now.
Yeah, right, whatever. That's all the fault of that German guy who made music. He had the women wearing horned helmets when they sang opera, and so people got it in their heads that Vikings wore horned helmets. Yeah. Anyway, I also like this bit. This is probably for the officer, because he's leaning on his axe while watching what's going on. That's quite cool. I do like that axe. So it's a very nice little collection, and that's of course the standard. Incidentally, I did a video on the undead standards, which I can't actually show you the one here, but if you attach the pennants to that, it fits perfectly on the undead box. So you can actually have one pendant on each one, and it actually looks quite good. I haven't painted it yet. It's downstairs. I just made it, so I just discovered it. So that is it there. I also like the shields. You've got some bit of metal on the top, which is where the shield's going to get hit. So it's good positioning. So because that is which the bit's going to get hit, you're going to try and protect the shield from getting damaged. And then you've got the boss, which has a spike on. So because it's a small shield, you can actually use it as a weapon. You can actually stab people with the spike in the shield, and that is also accurate. There were in the east, I'm talking the Rus area, there were actually shields designed to attach like a glove to your hand, which had a spike. You could use it either as a shield or a weapon. Very useful.
Yeah.
So this box is actually very carefully thought out and very good. I really do appreciate it. So as we do in the videos, I do have a few figures that are finished. Just move that back. These are the only ones that got painted so far. Do apologise, but we have the guy holding the arrows. Again, these arrows should be in his hand, but you know, I'm not going to complain. Maybe he's about to put them in his hand.
Yeah, perhaps.
I painted the fleshing, what do they call the arrowhead? Fleshing? Fletching. The fluffy bits on the end of the arrow. The fluffy bits I've painted red, and the reason I've painted, and I've got a bit on his arm. The reason I've done that, I also forgot to do his teeth. I literally just painted these. Don't blame me. Because these guys are using poisoned arrows in our game, and so poisoned troops use colours. Because I just thought it looked good. Here's another orc. He's actually drawn his arrow back. He's about to fire. There's a little short bow. looks quite good. All these orcs painted in dark colours, generally dark colours, a few browns and stuff. That's the kind of theme I went for. So you can't see them at night because they're sneaky. And this is an orc with his shield. What do you think of that then?
Look awesome.
And then I've got little bags and stuff on all the figures. So you got a little pouch with bread or whatever in it that you're carrying for your orc. So if the orc is moving through a human village fighting elves, then they can hand the bread bags out to the human children, and the humans will support the orc army as it marches forward. Sorry. Hey, look, that happened in real life, so if it works in real life, why can't it work in fantasy? Anyway, that's it. Can you just pass me Mr. Speeder? I know you don't like touching it.
I really want to touch it.
Right, just if you have a look at the difference between the orcs, we have here, sorry, I'll just move back a bit, these guys are goblins. These are goblins from the goblin box, which we have done an unboxing video in the past of, but it's just to show you the difference in size. Can you see the difference? If I put that level, you can see that they're about, I should guess, about maybe 6 inches taller to a foot, depending. Yeah. So the orcs are taller than the goblins. Yeah! I totally just dropped that figure. I use this guy. Right, so as you can see, the goblins, the orcs are quite a bit bigger than the goblins, noticeably, and the orcs do look a lot more orcish. The goblins are in sort of more mail and stuff. I think every single goblin has mail,
yeah.
But they don't have any other form of armour really, a little bit of fish scale, whereas these guys, these are plate and proper chunky fish scale and plate, which is good. So that's the difference between goblins and orcs, and that's my spider, in case anyone cares about spiders. But that's besides the point. That's just showing you the difference between the goblins and the orcs. That's the reason I did that, is I don't have any goblins upstairs, on the box downstairs, because I'm still painting the damn things. We've got too many goblins. Right, so that's basically it. They're quite nice figures, and you get, I think there's more detail on these than there is on the goblins.
Yeah.
I really do like these orcs. They're quite good.
So I think that's it.
Yes, that's it.
So if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe, and comment down below what you think of the Orc Infantry by Oathmark.
Yep. So goodbye from me.
And goodbye from him.
Goodbye.
See ya.